Hello everybody and welcome back to Alex Elite Golf and welcome to a brand new video. Today's video is all about 3 moves you don't want to be doing with driver that are causing a lot of people mistakes out on the golf course. These are 3 simple moves, 3 simple fixes, and hopefully we're going to improve your golf game. If you're new to the channel, guys, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell button down below. But before we do that, I want to know what driver you're gaming this season. I'm gaming the Cobra F9 Speedback driver. What driver are you gaming? Comment down below and let me know. Let's see what the most popular driver is. So let's get straight into this first common mistake I see people make with driver. Now, because the driver is a longer club, people tend to swing this golf club and feel like they have to find the golf ball. So very often I see this and people stood to this golf ball feeling like they have to find the golf ball. The shaft starts to steepen in transition and we get that common over the top move. And I see a lot of people that don't tend to do it much with an iron, but as they get to the driver, because it's a longer club, because they feel they have to put on the power a little bit more, we get into this habit of giving it this over the top move. So that'd be my first really big mistake with driver. And ultimately, what is that? I want you to think of it as a bike wheel. So if we've got this over the top move coming in this way, ultimately we've got our bike wheel working too much to the left. So we've really got to feel that our bike wheel is a little bit more around the body and out to the right. Now this will feel a little bit kind of what I call over exaggerated because you're so used to making the mistake of coming a little bit over the top, trying to find the golf ball because it's on the side of us and it's further away from us, it's a longer club. We've really got to trust it and put some time on the range and really feel that, okay, we know this is our move that we try and make. We've got to really try and feel like our bike wheel is a little bit in the opposite direction. So if we made a few swings in, a few practice swings, just really training out to the right and released, as opposed to trying to find the golf ball. And it feels strange to do this, but ultimately we're trying to affect the path. Because your shaft steepens a little bit this way in transition, if you're a person who makes that over the top move, then we get that out to in path. So we're going to try and flip that scenario on its head. Remember the bike wheel. At the moment, the over the top bike wheel's in this direction. We're going to try and feel it more in this direction. So we're really going to try and ingrain a few different feelings to try and do that. Okay, let's hit this first one away. Really exaggerate it. Almost feel like we're making and tracing a line with the club head out and under, not under and out. And I think if you think of it that way, it almost makes it a little bit more simple. Okay, let's hit this one away. Really trying to feel out and under as opposed to that over the top move. The first move we don't want to make with driver because it's really going to limit our power, accuracy, and especially when we get under pressure out on the golf course. So there we go. First move, really trying to feel a little bit more underneath this way. Let's get straight into the second move. So this leads me nicely onto the second move. The second move is early extension. Now, a lot of people when they're trying to shallow the shaft, they do it a right and a wrong way. Now, if I showed you this, we said our first move we don't want to see is this over the top move in this direction and the shaft steepening. Now, a lot of the time people will try and correct this. So if you watch me here, if we early extend now, look how my body and my pitch of my shoulders change, so we'll become a lot more upright, spine angle and belt buckle move towards the target. But you can see here the pitch of my shaft's going from steep to shallow. So in a sense, the shaft's actually acting in the way we want it to do, but the body isn't. So we're going to get a conflict of errors here. We're going to cause ourselves a new set of problems. We've gone from trying to stop that over the top move so now, okay, if we're early extending, and sometimes people do this anyway, not as a reaction to try and shallow the shaft, but if we're early extending, you can see here actually the shaft's doing what we want it to do, but the body isn't. So we've really got to feel that if we're going to make an effort to shallow the shaft, to feel like the shaft shallows and flattens in transition as opposed to steep and over the top, we've really got to pay attention to staying in posture. And a really nice simple way of doing this, I know a lot of you guys like to take a video and like to watch and see their swings back on video, so let's do this. If we're going to take a video now, I want you to place a line down your bum here, and we're really going to make sure we don't see our bum come off the line. We're really going to try and feel that throughout that backswing, we're going to stay on the line, into the downswing, into the through swing, we're going to feel like we create contact with that line. So the simple analogy that I want you to have, we're going to think we've got a wall just above bum height or hip height, whatever you want to use, and we're really going to try and feel that we keep in contact throughout. So my feeling here is that I'm keeping contact, and really feeling like my bum is on that wall. Because if I've got my bum on that wall, one, I've stayed in posture, but two, let's feel like we do that and shallow the shaft. We're really starting to create some power. We're really starting to create a repeatable move. Anytime we've got the move we don't want to see, number one, or then as a conflict, move we don't want to see, number two, we're really going to lose power and accuracy, especially with driver. So let's hit this one away. Let's really try and feel and over-exaggerate the feeling of staying in posture. So shallowing that shaft over and under, but really trying to feel like I keep my bum on that wall. Remember, bum on the wall throughout will really give us a good sense of staying in posture. And simple analogies like this are easy to take to the golf course. Complicated ones, not so. Okay, let's hit this one away. So feeling bum on the wall throughout. A little bit left, just sit before the bunker. Not too bad. Okay, a bit of a kind of an over-exaggerated move and not the ball flight I quite wanted. But in essence, all I'm trying to say to you here is move number one over the top, move number two early extension. We don't want these happening with our driver or throughout our golf game. Let's get on to the final one, and for me, this again is a really common mistake. Finally, the last common mistake I see made with driver. Now, this is a really very common mistake. Now, a lot of people when they get driver, they feel the effort and the need to get loaded into that right hand side, which is correct. We need to load, we need to try and create and store some power. But there's a right and a wrong way of doing this. A lot of the time I see people do this, and we rarely see people sway off this golf ball during the backswing. Then we've got to slide to get back to the golf ball in the downswing, causing us to basically an inconsistency. I always think of the analogy, if we've got a crane that we're trying to operate and the bottom of our crane is trying to move, then if that bottom of the crane is trying to move, the arm that's swinging is less likely going to repeat in the same motion, less likely going to pick up the same cargo, less likely going to hit the golf ball with the correct impact conditions. So the last common mistake I see made with driver is this feeling of swaying off the golf ball in this direction. Now, we need to talk about how we can still create and store power, but actually how can we get the hips rotating a little bit more to do so. So if we're someone who is swaying during this backswing, so in this motion, a lot of the time our hips are staying very square onto the golf ball. We don't see them turned and loaded into the backswing, and then we don't very often see them turned and opened up into the downswing. So I just want to talk about a really nice simple way of placing the club across our chest that's really going to help us do this. So from the down the line point of view, I really want to see that as we create this backswing, we're creating a big X factor stretch. That's what's going to create some power in the golf swing for us. So a difference in our hip turn and our shoulder turn. At the moment, we've got no hip turn for you people that sway, so then we're actually limiting our shoulder turn. So the feeling I want you to have is that we're feeling that we turn into the right, and the right leg slightly straightens, and we sit into that right hip. So watch me here. This is the move we're trying to create. My hip turn and my shoulder turn, as opposed to in this direction. So a really nice simple feeling that from the face on position doesn't look like this, looks more loaded and turned into that backswing. Really feeling like I'm going into that right hip and not swaying over it. You know, we used the expression of the wall before behind us. We're moving that wall now. That wall is now on our right hand side, and we're going to feel like we load into the wall. We don't break down that wall. So the final really nice simple analogy, and the feeling to stop the final move we don't want to see with driver. Don't break the wall, load up into the wall, then we've got the power stored, the X factor stretch between our hips and our shoulders, which is really going to help create a lot of power without the loss of consistency. Okay, here we go. Let's have a few waggles, just really trying to feel that we load into that right, load into the right. We're not swaying into the right. Let's hit this one away. The best of the lot, that for me. Common mistake I make, I very often sway, so then I slide. So me really trying to feel a load into that right gives me a really nice sense of freedom, really nice sense of power that's stored to really unleash into the golf ball. So there you go, guys. They're my 3 common mistakes made with driver. So there we go, 3 common mistakes made with driver. We talked about 3 simple analogies that we can use to help us improve our golf out on the golf course. The first move we didn't want to see was that over the top move. Now that is very common when we get to drive. It's a longer club. We feel the need to reach the golf ball, but we don't have to now. Think of the over and under and tracing that line. Second one, early extension. A lot of people do that as they're trying to correct the plane of their shaft, trying to feel they shallow the shaft, they change the pitch of the body. Feeling for that is really feeling like we keep the bum on the wall. Finally, we're going to move that wall to our right hand side if you're a right-handed player, the left hand side if you're a left-handed player. Don't feel like you break the wall, but load up into the wall. We do want to create some power, so we need to load up that power in the trail side, but there's a right and a wrong way of doing this. Thank you for watching today's video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and also if you haven't already, comment down below what driver you're gaming this season. Remember, I'm the F9 Cobra Speedback. What are you? Comment down below, and see you next time on Alex Elliott Golf.